I'll kiss your boots if you can do it. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. I'm the man. You're gonna be mine. Woo!
Tuned in to the best. That's no other than G5Jefftv. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. All social media is in the description box. And please hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I drop that heat. Now, this Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Al Heyman, Shelly Finkel, Eddie Hearn, this whole saga fiasco, I've been relatively quiet on it. I actually been quiet on it for a while, and it's been for a reason. I'm not one of these guys that's gonna come in here and just report on absolutely everything. But I had somebody tell me that even if I know what's going on, still my job to report everything. So, I felt a need to actually do this video just to open up and close out everything as far as this Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder situation. First and foremost, it's great. It's great PR. It's great PR. All of this stuff is going on, and point blank period, the fight's not happening. The fight's not happening. I'm not saying it won't happen down the line, but it's not going to happen next. And that's what everybody wanted to see, is the fight happen next. Now, there was reports earlier saying that Deontay Wilder agreed to have the fight in the UK. I'm like, all right, that ain't no big news. Like, he was going to go over to the UK anyway because Anthony Joshua holds all the cards, and he has 3 of the 4 belts. So I was like, that was no major announcement. Call me when y'all got the contract signed and date and the venue. That was my whole feeling when that was announced, and everybody was just dropping video after video about Deontay Wilder just agreeing to have it in the UK. Secondly, there's been back and forths with Eddie Hearn and him sending the contract over to Deontay Wilder. And then most recently, Deontay Wilder said he wants 50-50 for the fight. And the thing about this situation, especially with Eddie Hearn, because Eddie Hearn has probably got the most publicity out of anybody in this situation, I don't pay any attention to what Eddie Hearn says and what Eddie Hearn does, because you know what? He's doing what a promoter is supposed to do. When you have the cash cow, when you have the top guy, when you got the juice, you take full advantage of it. And if you don't take full advantage of it, then you're not leveraging your position. Let me give you an example. Before Floyd Mayweather became Floyd Money Mayweather, he was Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. The same guy that manages Andre Ward, the same guy that manages Shakur Stevenson, the same guy that manages Brian Baba Jennings, Jay Prince, the OG, triple OG. He had Floyd Mayweather at one point, and there's an interview with him where he said that he wished that he maximized his leverage when he had Floyd Mayweather Jr. He could have did so many things because he had Floyd Mayweather Jr. So I'm not knocking Eddie Hearn for putting comments out there in the atmosphere to see what the reaction gonna be. I don't have a problem with him saying whatever the hell he want to say, because at the end of the day, everybody says, oh, well, Eddie Hearn ain't shit. Eddie Hearn is this. Eddie Hearn is that. Listen, let me put y'all game on some news here. there is no trustworthy promoter out there. None of these promoters are trustworthy. They are going to do what's best for their business. Promoters in boxing is no different than politicians. They are people with power within their demographic. Eddie Hearn is a promoter that has power within boxing. He's doing the stuff he's doing is stuff that Al Heyman would do. It's the stuff that Bob Arum would do. It's the stuff that Oscar De La Hoya would do. This is standard promoter 101 shit. I'm going to get this out of the way as well. Anthony Joshua is not afraid of Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is not afraid of Anthony Joshua. From Deontay Wilder's perspective, I don't think he cares if he got to go to the UK for this fight. He was going to go to Russia to fight, the CEO of the PED boys, Alexander Povetkin, when he got caught being on the finest juices. Wilder was going to go out there to Russia. He was on his way out there before the test came out that he was on them juices. So I don't think Deontay Wilder really cares. The one thing I will say is Anthony Joshua does care if it's in the UK, as he should. What fighter doesn't want a home game? What fighter doesn't want the most important fight of his life on his turf? It's nothing wrong with Anthony Joshua or Eddie Hearn wanting to fight in their home turf. See, this is not about the fighters. Neither one of these guys is scared of the other. This is promoters, managers, networks, things of that nature. Those are the people that are holding this fight up because everybody's trying to maximize their leverage. They're trying to maximize their leverage. And there's nothing wrong with that. As fans, we might look at it and be like, oh, this is bullshit. They should have signed a contract. See, I look at it from a business end because I'm a businessman. And when you're dealing with a lot of money here and a lot of, hands in the pot, sometimes this stuff takes time. So I was never confident that the fight was going to happen next. Now, this is the dangerous thing about this situation. See, this is different than the Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao situation where they were building it, milking it. And even though Pacquiao lost to Marquez and got, put to sleep, they still made the fight happen. See, it's easier to let a fight marinate in the lower weight classes when you're dealing with dominant guys. Like, take a Earl Spence and a Terrence Crawford. You can let that marinate because both of them are that good. Or Earl Spence and Keith Thurman. You can let that marinate because they're that good. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, they were good enough for it to marinate because they were that good. It is extremely difficult to let a heavyweight fight marinate because all it takes is one shot. One fucking shot for a heavyweight to go night-night. And that goes for Deontay Wilder. That goes for Anthony Joshua and any other heavyweight in the world. All it takes is one shot. And you can be dreaming in front of thousands in the middle of that ring. So they're playing a risky game, letting this quote-unquote marinate. Now, Anthony Joshua, when you have 3 belts, there's really no great options because, in a sense, you're kind of not calling the shots. Now, he's going to have to face the king of the finest juices, Alexander Povetkin, and they're going to have a purse bid coming up. And Alexander Povetkin won his previous purse bid against Wilder because he got the billionaire Russian backing him up. That means if Anthony Joshua loses this purse bid, Eddie Hearn loses his purse bid, Anthony Joshua will have to go to Russia to defend his WBA title against Alexander Povetkin. Number one, is that a smart business move? Number two, is he willing to drop the WBA title just so he won't have to go to Russia? These are all legitimate questions. These are all legitimate questions. Even if he wins the purse bid, they're going to overpay for the purse bid because they don't know how much that billionaire going to bid. And I mean, he bid a great amount of money in that Alexander Povetkin Deontay Wilder purse bid. I forgot the amount, but it was a damn good amount. I think Deontay Wilder was going to end up getting about $4 million, about $4.5 million from that. So even though Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn is not taking this Deontay Wilder fight next, they have a whole other problem with Alexander Povetkin. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't care if the fight is in the backyard of Alexander Povetkin's house. I would fully expect for Anthony Joshua to knock him smooth out. You know what I'm saying? Like, David Price was giving Alexander Povetkin trouble. But David Price being David Price, he couldn't finish the deal. So it's not about whether I think Alexander Povetkin can beat Anthony Joshua, because I don't think he can. But the fact that he might have to travel out to Russia to get it done, that's a whole nother ball game. That's a whole nother risk. And Russia's not known for playing fair, if you know what I mean. I ain't got to go too much further into that. Now, Deontay Wilder, he, looks like he has Dominic Breazeale on the docket. I don't expect for Dominic Breazeale to last 4 rounds with Deontay Wilder, so it's less of a risk over there on his neck of the woods. He could see if he could fight Kubrat Pulev, because Pulev seems like he's having difficulty getting opponents because he wants to go straight to purse bid because he knows he's going to win the purse bid, and then he wants guys to come to his home country for a final eliminator fight, and nobody's trying to go out there. Kubrat Pulev don't have no pull. We don't care if he wins a purse bid or not. He doesn't have any pull. So Deontay Wilder has those two options as well, which are less of a risk for Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua and Alexander Povetkin. Now, once this fight does happen, and I do believe it's going to happen, these two are going to be married at the hip for the next 2 to 3 fights. Like, it's going to be Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder for probably about a 2-year stretch, because they're going to have that fight, and unless somebody gets completely just sparked early in the fight and it's conclusive and obvious, there's going to be a rematch. There's going to be a rematch, and then if the rematch is good, there's going to be a third fight. You can guarantee these guys are going to fight at least twice. This situation ain't no different than Canelo Triple G. That's why I never got hype over any of the other middleweights in the world. Didn't matter about the belts or anything like that. When there's a certain amount of money involved, they're going to be attached at the hip for a 2-year stretch. This is no different. So I don't mind them waiting. They're just taking a risk waiting because they are heavyweights. That's all. But if Eddie Hearn is confident that Anthony Joshua going to get the job done no matter where it's at, cool. If Shelly Finkel and Al Heyman believe that Deontay Wilder is going to win his next fight, and they get right back down to business and negotiations with Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn, then cool. I have no problem with it. But they're playing a risky game. So basically, to conclude, these guys are the 2 best heavyweights in the world. They not running from nothing. Anthony Joshua ain't running. Deontay Wilder ain't running. It's the guys in the background. That's all. It's the guys in the background, and it's okay. It's okay. This is business 101, and it's okay. As long as these guys get the job done, it's going to be maximum money for everybody for basically a 2-year stretch, because there's going to be a minimum of 2 fights, maximum of 3. And they ain't got to worry about no other heavyweight in the world. It is what it is. Everybody just need to calm down. All this, Anthony Joshua scared, he ain't ready. Please. He beat Klitschko. You know what I'm saying? So he's been in there with guys that can crack. He's been in there. He was in there with a legend. Anthony Joshua ain't scared of nobody. And Deontay Wilder ain't scared of nobody. It just annoys me that people drop videos, oh, Anthony Joshua scared, this, that, and the third. It's not about that. He's not scared. This is going to be a legendary fight, a legendary 2-fight, 3-fight series. Everybody just got to sit tight and let these guys work the business part out. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments section. G5Jefftv, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video, support your boy. Support good content at all times. I appreciate y'all. Peace.